they don't rewind those things, do they? It should just have pick up where Julia finished her previous one.
It's rolling now.
Is it?
Yeah.
Great.
So my Specialist Pathways 3 project. Just a quick thing on ethics. Is there a right way or a wrong way? In film, in documentary film, the filmmaker is constantly making decisions about their film. Basically, the way the story is told, how the characters are represented, what facts are included or excluded. Factual stories represent the views of their subjects. They also, however, represent the views of the filmmaker through the editing. In photography, it comes down to rights and privacy. In most cases of photographic work, a model release form would be signed. There would also be an under 18 adult consent form for children and young adults. When filming in non-public places, there are also location release forms that should be signed. A risk assessment form should also be filled out before commencing every filming or photo shoot. This should be thoroughly completed, stating all the hazards and dangers that occur. This is just an example of one that we've set up in UCY here. When working with the public, especially the young and the vulnerable, a form named DBS, Disclosure and Buying Service form, will be filled out before you could start work. This form should be renewed every 3 years. This was filled out for my work-based placement. For my work-based learning placement, I contacted numerous companies, both in photographic and printing. After a lot of rejection due to either companies being too busy or actually not having enough work to cover themselves, I was asked for an interview for a placement at the engine room in Bridgewater. It was for a 3 months bursary placement, which suited my time, which I was required to complete with a degree. The engine room is a community media centre that incorporates a coffee bar with internet access. I'd be working there 3 days per week, with one of the days being a Tuesday evening from 2 p.m. till 9 p.m, which are the drop-in sessions, where the local community have the opportunity to gain experience with companies and the internet. It also helps with a range of technical issues. These sessions are also staffed by experienced filmmakers. During my initial interview, at the end of it, I was handed my first project. This was to interview an elderly gentleman who had farmed in Dorset and Somerset all his life. This project started off as just an audio archive project. I was to liaise with the gentleman's daughter for all the meetings that had taken place. After my initial meeting with Mr. Frank Radow, talking through what was going to be taking place, it seemed an ideal opportunity to use this as my main SP3 project. So with no objections from Mr. Radow and his family, and all consent forms signed, I will also be videoing the interview for the purpose of my project, which I will be adding in still images over the video and audio in places. This project was going to be an ongoing for the rest of my time at the engine room, as after interviewing the audio recording of the way the farming had evolved over the years, the archive footage had already been completed for the sake of the archive. I kept in contact with family via email and also visits, so I could return photos that I'd borrowed and also books that were lent to me that would help me with the making of this short documentary. I also at some point was going to be going out with the family to where Mr. Ryder had farmed over the years. However, commitments from both sides have delayed this. I'll show you a short video, piece of video from the film.
The coldest winter ever recorded, I think, in
wires and the telephone. Whoever was house captain, we had to record the weather on Monday morning. All it happened is we at that time, I was the house captain for Gordon. I went out and looked at the thermometer, the maximum, minimum, the thermometer, the rain gauge, and then record the way of the wind and whether it was cloudy or not. Going back in the school, I said, the thermometer is busted, sir. Don't be daft, boy, he says. He stepped out to me, was a military man, he picked up the thermometer and he said, I'm going to do it right. He said, we've had more than 32 degrees of frost.
Don't know what's happening there.
Just click on the slide you're on and then... Then just go to slide showing at the top.
The Ride Out project was the only project that I had full control over by means of arranging meetings, video shoots. All the other projects that I was involved were jobs that were given to me by the studio manager. They included subtitling a short educational video made with a local school in Yeovil. Alongside the drop-ins and the Frank Ride Out project, I also worked in the edit suite editing ongoing projects for Somerset Film. This gave me the opportunity to gain experience with Final Cut Pro. So far I'd only been editing with one camera view and syncing audio from a Tascam with a DSLR video footage. However, I was given a task of editing with voice syncing a 2-cam footage of such school play filmed by one of the freelance filmmakers that was employed by Somerset Film. I'll show you a short clip.
Tomorrow night, meet me in the palace wood. There we will rehearse. I pray you, fail me not.
Take pains, be perfect, accurate, right by and by.
This gave me a completely different insight to video editing. Having 2 angles to work from definitely gives a different perspective to a film. I had previously had limited training with Final Cut Pro and audio equipment. other software that I came across during the drop-in sessions included a small amount of dealing with Soundtrack Pro, Audacity, Motion, Toast Titanium and DVD Studio Pro. By shadowing the studio manager, I quickly became familiar with these programs, which gave me the knowledge and understanding to be able to confidently help the members of the public with their needs for the purpose of the projects that they were trying to complete. As I was after some photographic experience, during any spare time the studio manager would show me through Photoshop. He would give me exercises to complete, and the next slides are my first attempt at using the lasso tools to cut out an object and paste onto another background. These are just a few. We filmed him jumping up in the air and catching it outside the engine room. So we started by enlarging an area and using the lasso tool, just cutting out little parts of him until we get completely cut him out. And I put him on a different background and had him flying through New York. So that was a really fun exercise, but it gave me a lot of experience in how to add things into other pictures. Going back to the film that I had been making, once it had been edited in Final Cut, then it will be sent to a program called Compressor before it can be made into a DVD. And this is just a screenshot of Compressor Open, where I had I'm opening up where I was going to be, how I was going to be doing the video footage and settings. So it's in the window tab. Make sure the settings window is visible. This is where the decision was made to what type of encoding is going to be used. For the purpose of the DVD, I'll be using a 90-minute fast encode setting, which is found in the preset under the Apple tab. If the film is longer than 90 minutes, then there are either a 120 or 150 minute option in this setting group. However, the quality of the DVD will be slightly more grainier by using the fast encode. It will save time, as it will only pass over the video once, where the best quality setting will encode the video twice. For each version of the DVD that I'll be making, I will have a separate DVD assets folder, so that the audio TS and video TS files can be saved and located easily in case of any further requirements to burn off extra copies. With DVD Studio Pro, this to me looked like the most complicated program ever, and I was surprised to find out that it was pretty simplistic to use. I used this program for my final short film, Mr. Rudout and His Farming Life. This next slide shows that slide shows that the DVD Studio Pro has a graphical map view, which shows all the menus, tracks, and scripts in the project as colour-coded tiles, with the connections between them as arrows. This process makes it easier to understand the way the track will play. Each arrow will point to the next track that will be played in the playlist. This is just here's a showing of all the play buttons and the playlists that will be there, and that is how I made my DVD for SP3.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Julie.
Well done. We've gone over a bit, but I think that's necessary.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Should we go on?
Yeah. Sorry, yes, we keep going. Is Studio Pro, is that still available? Because I know Will uses it a lot, and I can't remember where I was recently, and they said, oh, people don't use Studio Pro anymore, or it's not, has it gone out of use, or?
I haven't heard of that. I mean, that's what I'm using. So to make my idea, I think it's the most easiest
It's still going.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, thank you. Yeah. So, any questions?
A list.
Yeah. Which part did you find you kind of gained most? Which surprised you about, you know, the software like Photoshop, DVD Studio Pro, Final Cut? What did you surprise yourself on, and what do you think you learned the most from?
Final Cut Pro. I absolutely loved editing.
What's it
And
about?
I was I felt I was being untrue to what I want to be, which is a photographer. And I loved the film, everything to do with the filming. So, but especially the editing. So, and the subtitling was really good as well that I did. I only did an hour subtitling for somebody, and I found that really good, which most people don't apparently. They hate it. So I was told afterwards.
Are you going to present the work anywhere that you've made? Have you any plans?
I hoped to. We'll have to talk about that later, when I finish the final film.
Okay.
But it will be finished by next week, so if it was to be played anywhere.
We do have an open day here on the 12th, Monday evening. It would be wonderful if you could show it.
Yeah,
I think,
I will
yeah.
try my best. Well, it's got to be in by the 8th anyway, so
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it would
Yeah, that'd be fine.
be really good. Would you be happy with
Oh,
that?
yeah. No.
And we'd love you to come and...
I'm not saying how great it will be, but I'll be definitely happy with
Great.
it.
Yeah. Let's talk about it. Yeah, let's talk. All right.
So I'll just put it on DVD, because I'm going to be doing a hard copy to send off. Obviously it'll be put on my Weebly as well.
Would it be too much to ask you to just run off a very quick little flyer? Because one of the things in here is about marketing and presentation of your work.
Okay, yeah.
You know, just a one-side A5
Yeah.
little flyer with a title and.
Yeah.
Invite-
Have you got a
invite
flyer
Laura.
about the open evening? Because I can get the details
Yes,
from
I can
that.
I can send you stuff about that. I mean, I haven't even asked the fine art people, but I don't think it's necessary. I think it would be really good because we've only got 3 students actually exhibiting in the building. 5 of them are going to be up at the Innovation Centre, and we've got a big shebang going on here. Unfortunately, we couldn't use just the one, but because we've got drawing and painting in the basement, we've got installation in the room next door. It would be wonderful to maybe cordon off an area here, or this room, or wherever you wanted, where we could put up some boards and just sort of some publicity about your work. It'd be great.
Okay, yeah.
That would be really nice.
Yeah.
I just got one last question, which is just about like time working at the engine room, like the drop-in sessions. How would you find, because they're so busy, those sessions, aren't they? They're just
They are
mad.
manic. They are completely manic.
How did you find managing yourself and your own resources and sharing your expertise and your helping people with that during those sessions?
At first it scared the living daylights out of me, but I watched Will quite a lot, and he absolutely loves being busy and loves being manic. And I was usually put with somebody that was dealing with their masters. They were finishing off their masters, or they were finishing off their BA honours. Then everyone there and had an understanding that I could be taken away at any point. So you had your regular internet surface there, and there was a lot of vulnerable people, as in people with learning difficulties and that there, and getting their trust was quite rewarding as well. So. they were very sad to see me leave. They were like, you always change, always changes, and we like you, can you stay?
Mm.
So, but I will go back over to the drop-in at some point, so.
And weren't you offered a job over there or something when you were, or linked to something?
They were offered, sort of said to me that if there was anything that come up freelance, then they would look me up, but I don't think that's in the offing anymore at the moment, because
No, but that's
yeah,
something.
It will be something for the future though.
Yeah.
And you've obviously made a really good impression.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they don't give freelance to anyone. Or even talk about it to anyone. So made a really good impression.
Good. Yeah. Well done. Congratulations. One in the can.